What's up guys, in this video I am trying for my electric badge in the gym challenge over at perfectpokemon.com. I'm going up against Axo, who is the electric gym leader and a phenomenal trainer in my opinion. For me, this turned out to be an incredibly tense battle, like literally down to the wire. So I'm excited to share it with some commentary. Let's go. Before we get to the match, while we were in team selection, I realized that I had the wrong team. I wanted to have Landorus instead of Skarmory, but we were already at this point, so I figured I'll do the best with what I had. I decided to lead with Clodsire, who is my special wall, mainly because I didn't think anything on his team would be able to one-shot it, and I would be able to at least get Stealth Rock up. As the match was loading in, I realized I was hella nervous. I've been trying to get better recently, and this was kind of my first real test in a while. But I decided to just try and stay focused and do the best I can. He started with Sandy Shocks, who in my head is like a special attacker. So I figured my Clodsire would be safe to survive at least one hit. Because of that, I went for Stealth Rock to get that set up and just to feel him out to see what he was going to do. I saw he went for Earth Power, which my Clodsire is weak to, and even though it's a special move, it almost takes half of my health. So because of that, I decided to go for my first little prediction of the match. So I predicted that he would use Earth Power again and switched into Skarmory, who is immune to ground moves like Earth Power. This is a bit of a risky prediction because if he had went for an electric attack, he could have possibly one-shotted my Skarmory on this switch in. Luckily, he went for another Earth Power, which didn't affect Skarmory, but here I assumed that he could go for his electric attack now, so I immediately switched into Great Tusk, who is immune to electricity. He instead used Stealth Rock, which left me in a little bit of a weird spot because I didn't know if my Great Tusk would outspeed his Sandy Shocks or not, but I figured Great Tusk is bulky enough to take an attack from Sandy Shocks, so I went for a Headlong Rush, hoping that I could HKO. But he predicted my ground attack and switched into Mole Rotom, Rotom Grass. Rotom actually has Levitate, so he's immune to my Headlong Rush. That was a perfect prediction from him. Mole Rotom could very easily take care of Great Tusk, and because of that I decided to switch into Gouging Fire. I think this was my first mistake, not necessarily a bad play, but I just miscalculated the amount of damage Gouging Fire would take from Stealth Rock, so on the switch in I'm already below half health. This was my first time ever using Gouging Fire. I predicted that he was going to switch this turn, so I went for a Dragon Dance. Not too sure what I was thinking. I thought I was gonna set up and sweep his entire team or something. And he did switch. He switched into Magnezone. I was kind of surprised by this, kind of a risky play on his part. I thought I was just gonna one-shot his Magnezone. But he terrestrializes and survives with the tiniest bit of hit points. And if you've ever seen those memes where it's like it's at this moment he knew he effed up. That's exactly how I felt when his Magnezone survived and proceeded to knock out my Gouging Fire. After that, I spent a little bit of time thinking. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to finish off this Magnezone, so I didn't want it to get a free attack before it died. But the only Pokemon I have with a priority move is Iron Valiant. But if I sent her out, it would activate her energy booster, and I wasn't too sure if I wanted to waste that right here. Ultimately though, I decided that Iron Valiant was the best choice, so I sent her out. Then I realized I had replaced my priority move and went for the knockoff instead. He then switches into Iron Hands. I had no idea how tanky this thing was. I didn't know if I was gonna HKO it with my Spirit Break or not, so I just went for it. He tanks it completely. And then one-shots my Iron Valiant. After that, I bring out Great Tusk. I could have just went for the Headlong Rush, but I thought there was a good chance he could switch, so I went for a fire attack instead from Great Tusk, and I was able to predict his switch and one-shot Moroder. This is probably my best play of the battle. After that prediction, he messaged me on Discord and said, "Hey, great prediction." I was very happy with that. Anyway, he then brought out Pawmot. And used Revival Blessing. I didn't even know what that ability did, but then I saw he was able to revive Rotom. I was able to HKO Pawmot with a Headlong Rush. But after he brought out Rotom again, I didn't know if I would be able to outspeed Moroder. And I felt pretty confident that an attack from Rotom would one-shot Great Tusk. So again, I was trying to figure out what to do. Ultimately, I decided that Great Tusk was too important, and I just went for a switch. I switched into Goldingo, and he took that Leaf Storm pretty well. I actually didn't know that he was resistant to grass attacks, so that was just luck. But at this point, I decided to just start spamming Stab Shadow Ball until Goldingo died. So I finally take out his Iron Hands, which is his second to last Pokemon. And right now it may look pretty good for me because I have 3 Pokemon left to his 1. But his final Pokemon is Miraidon, a legendary. And that's because gym leaders are allowed 1 Uber or legendary Pokemon and item on your team. This rule is to try and help them offset the huge disadvantage they're at having to run a mono type team. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't really have anything to deal with Miraidon, and obviously Miraidon is a beast. So in the moment, it felt like there was a very good chance I was still gonna lose this battle. I remember thinking that my only hope was to probably poison and stall him out with Clodsire. So after Great Tusk died, I pretty much decided to sacrifice Rocky Helmet Skarmory, hoping that the little bit of extra chip damage from Rocky Helmet might make the difference. Of course he one-shot Skarmory, and it felt like Rocky Helmet did absolutely nothing. At this point, it felt a little hopeless, I can't lie. I felt like if I had Landorus, it would have been almost a guaranteed win. I could just come in and spam Earthquake. So I sent in Clodsire, my final Pokemon, and it eats the Draco Meteor. Surviving with 48 hit points like a champ, partially because Draco Meteor causes Miraidon's special attack to drop, and he had already used it against Great Tusk. Still, because Clodsire survives, I'm able to use recovery, and that made me feel like I was still in the game. Initially, I decided I was still gonna go for Toxic and try to poison Miraidon, but he uses Taunt, throwing that plan out of the window. So I pressed the only button I could press at this point, which was Earthquake, and it did way more damage than I expected. In 2 Earthquakes, Clodsire was able to take out Miraidon, and that earned me my Electric Badge. Anyway, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Axo. This was a great match. I think if he was allowed to use a normal non-mono type team, he would have obliterated me, but I still had a lot of fun. If you want to take the gym challenge yourself, or if you think you'll make a good gym leader, I'll leave a link directly to the gym challenge page in the description of this video. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. Let me know what I can do to improve. Much love. Have a great day. Bye.